Yeah, I gotta make another damn video on silver because I've been thinking about this stuff and I want to have it correct. And I'm not actually going by. I predict the price will be this much because I'm looking at the ratios and other factors. It's kind of how I think. I mean, oil prices can kill the economy. The global manufacturing index slow down in China. I was listening to Mark Faber, the guy, and I like Mark Faber better than Jim Rogers. For one, well, I'll tell you later. I like Mark Faber better. But I do like Jim Rogers. He's a good guy. But, well, let me put it this way. Those guys, despite the smooth talk, they're predators to the max. Don't let them fool you either. But they are giving you some straight answers. And I'm trying to give you some straight answers. Obviously, I'm not in that league, obviously. But I never even worked for people like that, maybe kind of indirectly. But nah, not, I've been around devils. They like me. But I'm going to point out on this list, all these guys are full of it. I was going through this stuff about silver projections, and I'll tell you the worst guy in here, in my opinion. I know it's not nice to say something bad, but this guy's got to know better. I know Chapman's kind of a scammer. He's a salesman. He sells. He's not like a. He's a mixture. He's a mixture. This guy's an entertainer. He don't know. I'm listening because I'm looking for information too. I mean, that's typical, right? You got something, and anybody with money tell you you're crazy to go buy a bunch of physical silver and hold it in a pit someplace, right? You got to be nuts. That's what the average person does that's got money. They know what silver is. It's a risk asset. And I know some people hate hearing that shit. Well, I said shit, right? But they hate hearing that. But it's true. It's true. And I'm not trying to dissuade anyone from doing it because I did it, so. But this guy should know better. He's talking thousands of dollars an ounce on real dollars. He should know better. Demand destruction. I'm telling you, that's the way it works. It's the way it's going to be. It's maybe go to that because of currency destruction. And that's where the price of silver can go to anything, and that's a good reason to hold it. Now, I was watching Brother John F., and I'm really getting... I don't think that guy's insincere, but he's very rigid. I don't know. He knows what he's talking about. He's trained in all this kind of crap. I know what he is. It reminds me of so many other people that are trained in a lot of other fields. And that's why I usually work for an entrepreneur that's like a crazy devil. That usually seems to be my role. But he's not insincere, but I just disagree with some of the things he says, but whatever. But I saw Connecting Dots, and that's a guy, Connecting Dots 1. I respect. I think he's a straight shooter. He says he thinks 120 silver, and he said a couple other things on there like he didn't think silver would go to 22. I didn't think silver would go to 22. But I didn't know that, I say I didn't know this, but I didn't think it was going to go to 22. I didn't give a shit if it went to 22. Let it go to 22. Let it go to $1. 3 cents. I don't give. Let it go to anything. Thanks. Because no matter what, I'll act accordingly. That's what I'll do. But he says that, and I'm thinking. He said a few things that he nailed right, but I just asked him, well, maybe tell me how, because I'm curious, because I respect his opinion. I think he's a straight shooter, Endless Mountain's a straight shooter. I think Brother John F's a straight shooter, but I disagree with him, and he shouldn't be listening to this guy here. I don't know. These guys are, I'm trying to tell you something, man. I'm not freaking lying here. I'm not lying. These guys, they ought to know better. They ought to know better. But the game is not exactly rigged, you know? And it is rigged, but it's not like rigged, like all the way. And my whole mindset is different. I want to know how it's rigged. I want to know a better way of doing it. That's what I'm about. They say, yeah, I can get burned. I don't give a shit. I don't care. You know, my attitude is I throw all my money, silver, right to the freaking bottom of the ocean. People can get their own damn money. I work for mine. Or if I have to outsmart somebody for it or whatever, that's the way I do it. That's the way I do it. But I don't think of it as anything. This is the game. This is the whole game. And I take it very serious. It's not a game. But he said $120 silver. And that made me start thinking. Because he said it. I don't know if he knows or not. Maybe, he's maybe just throwing a number out there thinking it's going to be 120. But, there's something else coming up. And I'm saying, watch these ratios. That's going to be telling you stuff. Watch the oil prices. But who the hell knows where oil can go? Maybe it can go to $200 or more before the economy breaks. Watch the global manufacturing. Pay attention to Mark Farber. Because I think that guy, he doesn't have everything right every single time, obviously. But he's pretty much on the money. If there's a slowdown in China, you're going to watch these metals get hit. Industrial metals. Very hard. I want to get rid of them, and I want to buy them back. I'm not playing this game, hold shiny silver coins forever. But I am going to hold most of them. That's no doubt about it. But I'm playing the game right to the max. But I want to be correct. Now, there's one thing I think that's coming up that can really drive silver up is, since the ratio to gold to silver, I'm thinking it went to 31 or 32 to 1 last time, and I forgot who the hell that was. He said 28 to 1. Let's say 29 to 1. I figured 30 to 1. Well, if gold goes up to $3,000 an ounce, that's a hell of a move. But I'll bet you, I think it's a pretty damn good bet that they're gonna screw up the budget this year. I mean, how what's the odds of that happening? Like, almost guaranteed? Are they gonna overspend? It's almost like, is the sun gonna come up the next day? Now, that's quite obvious. That's what's gonna happen. They're gonna overspend. Is there gonna be a war with Iran? Probably. If the United States doesn't get in, Israel's gonna do it. Then the United States will be in it, despite what Brzezinski says. I got a lot of faith in Jews. They're very powerful, a lot more powerful than people think. They're going to get their way, but they're not going to screw up. They're not going to screw up. They're going to get their way, and they're not going to screw up. So, when this war starts, watch what happens with the budget. And what's going to happen with Moody's. And maybe there's going to be more problems in Europe because, guess what? The oil's going to be up, right? That's going to put a lot of pressure on a lot of things. So maybe, I'm not sure where silver's going to crash at. I think at one point in time it's going to crash on paper. So, I don't know what's going to happen. But the metals could take off a hell of a lot more than you think. Especially if there's a lot more downgrades in debt. I mean, nobody in the world was predicting that, gold looks really crappy before in early 2011. Then all of a sudden gold looked great in August because there was a debt downgrade of the United States debt. Well, they're going to do that again. I think that's an absolute given, definite. Now, I was saying 2,500, 30 to 1, about, well, a little over 80. I don't know, connecting dots thinks 120. I'm curious why he thinks that. Because I respect his opinion, He's a straight shooter, he's not a BSer. But, I don't know, maybe he's just picking a number out there. But maybe it could top 100. I don't think 100's that super crazy either, I'm thinking like 75 to 90. That's what I was saying. I think it's going to do better than 60. And, I was thinking closer to 70, like that. But we're looking at some other things that could happen. QE and debt downgrades. It can go higher. But, right now the mood is getting more elated. So you're coming out with the crazy predictions, right? Same old garbage. But I want to get this correct. Because I want to move in and out. And I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of people, it's just how I think. I'm looking out for, and the thing is, I'm not one of these type of people that would spend money anyway, so I just collect it. That's all I do. But these guys are full of it. I examine all these clowns. This guy, Lindsey Williams, he's sincere, but he's an attention grabber. And I've dealt so much in accounting and things, and I haven't dealt too much with these non-profit things, but I don't know about him, but I got no respect for 90% of people out there that are religious with the man of the cloth and all this garbage. I don't buy into that garbage. It's a racket too. It's a racket and a half. It's like, I'd love to be a preacher. I can walk around and say, yeah, everything I do is non-profit. Sure. That is a racket. It's a total racket. So, somebody tells me they're religious or something, I don't really think nothing of that either, because usually I think they're a scammer. But I'm very curious about what's probably going to happen this year, because I don't want to sell physical too low. And I know who not to listen to. But I'm going to also pay very careful attention to Kid Dynamite. Now, I don't know if he's going to have any kind of information about Sprott selling off stuff. He might not. But if he told me that, I'd be selling like that day. Gone. I'd be going down to the coin store. Hey, what can I get for this junk? Goodbye. That's what I'd be doing. I want as much gains as possible. And I'll throw it in the freaking ocean before I give it to anybody. That's the way I think. And that's usually why a lot of these people like me, so that's why I get in there. But I could look at something like it's nothing. I don't care. But I'm curious what Connecting Dots is telling me. Because that guy I do respect. I do respect what he's got to say, but I don't know. He might be just picking out a number. I don't know. He's probably thinking it's going to have an extraordinarily good year, so maybe it'll get up to like 100. Who the hell knows? But I think it's going to crash again. But the crash is going to be, say it went to 85 or whatever. It's going to go down slam down to 45. I'm throwing a number out there, but it's not going to be, it's going to be slammed down to something higher than what it is right now. So it's going up. It's going up. But like I said, I'm looking to maximize as much as possible. But I don't know everything. And I keep a very hard eye out for this garbage. It's a game. I like it. So, but I'm looking to be accurate, and I'm not afraid to sell physical.